The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's Quality of Life Radio show. It's an extraordinary Tuesday morning, June 20th, 2023, and I hope you're feeling good today. If you're not, I'm going to try to do everything I can to help encourage you, make you smile, and bring some relevant information into your life. You're listening to the Quality of Life Radio show, and I'm your host, Tom Bouvier. My esteemed normal host is Gary Owen. He's on vacation this week, much deserved vacation, and I'm sitting in taking the place of both of us. So you can find us on Facebook, the Quality of Life Radio Show, and you can go back and listen to all the different broadcasts that we've done over the years. It is simultaneously airing on WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM. So if you're traveling through the beautiful Treasure Coast area, I want to welcome you to our area. And if you live here, I live here too. We love this place. A few segments to our show. Normally we go into some relevant content about insurance planning. This is sponsored by Owen Insurance Group, as you probably already know that. But we're going to talk about life insurance today. We're going to bring relevant content, information that you can actually use. Like to start out with a quote of the day, something positive, upbeat to help encourage you. And then we ask you to give us a call, because I'm just going to pique your interest, hopefully, and help open a conversation about a very, very important topic, and that's life insurance. The motto at Owen Insurance Group is we simplify insurance planning so that you can live the stress-free life that you deserve. And most people hate shopping for insurance. I, myself, am one of those people. I really don't like shopping for insurance for myself, but I'm pretty good at helping people find insurance for themselves. So the quote of the day is this: hard work is a choice, attitude is a choice, discipline is a choice, doing extra is a choice, excellence is a choice. And once you make those choices on a continual, daily, make it a daily practice for hard work, good attitude, discipline, going the extra mile, all that, it becomes a habit. And those habits begin to build a great and wonderful life. And behind every successful person, behind every strong person, behind everyone who has achieved something great in their life is a story. And that story always has two choices. There was a point in my life when I was either going to sink or swim. Maybe you're out there listening and you're at that point. You're at somewhat of a crossroads where, boy, it'd be so easy to just give in and to give up and to sink. However, that's not the best route for you, and it's not the best route for the people that you love. Never give in, never give up. Always keep swimming. Don't sink, but swim. So hope that encourages you. Give me a call if you need some encouragement, 772-210-1020. That's 772-210-1020. Okay, so we're going to get into this topic of life insurance. You say, boy, I don't know if I'm going to like this show. Well, listen, I'm going to try to make it a little friendlier for you, go over some of the basics of life insurance, why people should consider life insurance, what kind of conversation they should have about life insurance, how to get started in the process. We can teach you all about the different types of life insurance, really what questions to ask, the details, assess the need, and then eventually find a policy that's in your best interest, that fits your need, fits your budget, and helps fulfill your overall goals. Because I do know one thing. Any type of insurance, whether it's your health insurance, life insurance, disability, if it's been nagging you that you know you need to get it, You know you need to have the conversation. You know it's something, maybe your spouse has been nagging you to get it, or just been prodding you. And it's something that any type of insurance, once you deal with it, take it off your things to-do list, doesn't it make you feel good when you check things off your things to-do list? Well, hopefully you'll do that about life insurance, because, only 59% of adults have some type of life insurance. And about 50 million of those that have life insurance feel that they need more. Because many times people say, oh, I've got life insurance, Tom. I don't need anything to do with life insurance. Well, oh, really? What do you have? I said, well, I have this accidental life insurance policy. Man, I only pay $17 a month for $500,000. I said, oh, so if you die of a medical reason, is it going to cover you? I don't know. Well, actually, no. A lot of these accidental life insurance policies are very inexpensive, but they only cover you in the case if you die of an accident. And actually, statistically, most people do not die of accidents. They die of health reasons or just old age or whatnot. So 59%. So that means 4 out of 10 people out there listening don't have any type of insurance at all. And even those that have it, you might just have a little small policy that your employer may have covered for you, 10, 15,000 or maybe 50,000. But how long will that last once you're gone? 35% of households in America say that they would feel painful financial effects within 1 month of the main breadwinner's death. Now, if 1 out of 3, a little bit more than 1 out of 3 households would feel painful financial effects after 1 month, what if we increased it to 6 months? Somebody say, oh, I've got reserved for 6 months. Well, that's great. What happens on month 7? What about after a year? So I believe that percentage of households would definitely increase if we stretched it out to a year if the main breadwinner passed away. 40% of people have no idea how much coverage they actually need, how much to buy, or how much it would cost. In other words, they're ignorant. They're not stupid. They're just ignorant. They don't know the facts, and that's what we're here for. Owen Insurance Group, we've been in this area for quite a few years. We have a location right on US 1 behind Key West Diner and just north of the Roosevelt Bridge. We have an office, or you can give us a call, 772-210-1020. We can help you determine what you might need, as well as how much to buy and what the premiums would be. Here's a fact. Since 2020, 23% fewer employers are offering life insurance as a benefit to their employees. For a lot of different reasons, that is, of course. They're not offering life insurance. So people who may have had it through their employer, they're not having it anymore. They're not getting it anymore. And 18% of Americans have no idea how much coverage their significant other has, or even if their significant other has any. It's a conversation you should have, particularly if you're not necessarily the breadwinner of the family. Pardon me. Over 25% of Americans say they have never been approached by an agent or financial professional about life insurance. Well, you're listening to me now, so you are being approached. I'm not trying to sell you anything, and we don't push any insurance product on anyone. We love to have conversations with people, real, down-to-earth, insurance straight talk. That's where we call it the no plop zone. It's just straight talk, no BS, just straight talk with you, having a conversation about your needs, wants, desires, your budget, etc. And we keep all your information private and protected. We follow all HIPAA guidelines. We don't discuss anything with anyone. That's not a need-to-know basis. So 63%, 6 out of 10 people think, or they say they don't buy life insurance because it's too expensive. Well, when's the last time you checked? And many times you checked maybe a couple of years ago. Maybe financially you're in a better situation. You're making more money. You could afford something. Or the person that you found that information, got that information from or online was not 100% correct, or they didn't show you all the different options. We're independent brokers. We can show you all the different types of insurance, all the different options, and with a lot of different carriers out there. All right, a few other facts here. Anyway, 84% of people between the ages of 46 and 69 have an average mortgage debt of $209,000. So, what if you were to pass away? Do you have a life insurance policy that'll pay off that mortgage? I mean, right there alone, if you have a family and you're the main breadwinner, and a spouse either works or doesn't and have children, you definitely want to make sure that home is paid off. So I'm going to go through briefly here different types of life insurance, the different products that are out there. There are things you may have heard. Term life, of course, that lasts for a certain amount of time, 10 years, 20 years, 30-year terms. Within that period, you can sometimes transition it to a whole life or permanent insurance. That's as long as the premium is paid and it builds up in cash value. That's called whole life. Then there's guaranteed issue. That's where you may have a medical condition that no life insurance company will write your policy because you've been living with a certain condition. Maybe you've been living with HIV. You've been taking medication and you've kept it at bay, but life insurance policies will ask, have you ever been diagnosed with HIV? And now they won't write the policy. But there's a guaranteed issue policy that can be had, and those would take effect. The benefits would be effective after 24 months. But if you died within the 24 months by an accident, it would be paid out. And you would never lose your premium if you died of a medical reason within 24 months with guaranteed issue. So we ask no medical questions. We just write the policy for you and just don't die within 24 months. And your beneficiary would be able to get that benefit afterwards. Then there's level policies where the day the policy is in effect, the full amount is available. There's graded policies. It's very similar to guaranteed issue, but you do have to qualify. But benefits become effective after 24 months. And then there's others, IULs, GULs. We can talk more when you give me a call. Give us a call here at our office and we can talk more about it. Many people know the final expense policies. These are traditionally from $5,000 to $50,000 end of life. These are amounts designed for end-of-life expenses, such as a burial, cremation, paying off a few bills, and possibly leaving some money to a beneficiary for them to have a party. And then there are those accidental death policies. As a matter of fact, if you would like a free, yes, I use the word free, a free $3,000 accidental death policy, give me a call and I can write it for you. It will be free for the first year. After that, it'll be only $10. Now, $10 for $3,000 policy, if you die of an accident, that's still a phenomenal deal. But you can get the first year for free. So we are offering those. Give me a call, and I could write that policy for you. There's no obligation for you to purchase anything. Just come to our office or give me a call, 772-210-1020. Ask for Tom Bouvier, and I would be happy to give you a free life insurance policy. It's an accidental death policy for $3,000. You and your entire family can join it. So I also know, since I've been doing this for quite a while, that many times people are very reluctant to talk about life insurance because you have to contemplate something, and that is your death. Many people don't like to think of death. They just get creeped out. They're afraid to die. They don't want to talk about it. And when you talk about life insurance, well, that's all about death. You know, there's or they don't want to have the conversation because they think I can't afford it. And that could be the very reason you should get life insurance, because you can't afford it. So you need to have a conversation about life insurance with someone who's reputable, knowledgeable, has your best interest in mind. That's a fiduciary, and that's what we're all about here at Owen Insurance Group. And, you know, for those that are listening right now, do you mind if I ask you a question? If you don't change the dial, then you're going to hear the question, whether you mind or not. Well, here's the question. What type of coverage do you have in place in the event of your untimely death? If you were to die next week, today, a year from now, What type of policy do you have in place that would help cover expenses, pay off bills, pay off the car, pay off the home, pay off this, leave something for your charity? Some people don't have a family, or their family's already taken care of, but they want to leave it to their favorite charity. Leave 50 grand, 100 grand, or whatever amount. Leave 10,000. So, and the second follow-up question is this: would you be open to having a conversation with me about life insurance? Myself or any of our capable agents here at Owen Insurance Group. If you have an agent with Owen Insurance Group, give them a call. If you don't, give me a call. Give us a call, 772-210-1020. Schedule a date. We'll take time to talk. It won't have to be long and formal, and I don't sell anything. I won't push anything on you. It'll be a conversation. We don't want it to be rushed, so we need to schedule some time to talk about the intent, the purpose, the types of policy, what might work for you, and what your budget can afford. It's a conversation. We keep all your information private and protected. We follow all the HIPAA guidelines protecting your information. So you say, well, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't think life insurance is something I need. Well, listen, I understand how you feel. A lot of people don't want to buy any type of insurance. And many people feel that way. Others always feel that way, because you'll always find people who feel the same way as you. But what I've found is after they need the life insurance, they're calling me, say, I just got diagnosed with cancer. You remember that cancer policy you were talking to me about? Or my husband, God help rest their soul, just passed away. Did he ever write that life insurance policy that he went in to talk to you about? And in that case, I would hope I would be able to say yes. But believe me, many people, if their beneficiary, their spouse or their significant other called me and said, did they write that policy? I know they talked to you about life insurance. Did they get it? Maybe they didn't know. And I said, no, that wouldn't be a good thing. But listen, if you say you can't afford it, if you say I got too many bills, I've got too many other bills pressing in on me, well, the very fact that you have too many bills, the very fact that you're living paycheck to paycheck, the very fact that you can't afford it, again, is the very reason why you should at least have a conversation and look at it. Because if that's how you're living, you need to make some adjustments. If you're the main breadwinner, if you have people that are depending upon you, and 5 years from now, you look into the window and you're gone. You passed away, and then 5 years you look into the window, see your spouse and your children or whoever. What would you like to see? Would you like to see them struggling, going from paycheck to paycheck, hardly eating the proper healthy food because there's just not money, they're struggling? Or would you like to see them thriving, the house paid off, the cars paid off, them having all the opportunities in the world because you were the hero by getting life insurance? So it's a matter of choice. You know, as I said earlier, excellence is a choice. Doing extra is a choice. All these things is a choice. Get this off your bucket list. Get this off your to-do list. Come have a conversation about life insurance, okay? And, you know, where would we start? If we had a conversation, we would start with the most obvious. If you were to pass away, what would you want to do with your body? There's cremation. Do you want to have a big funeral service? Do you want to have a showing? Do you want to be laid in a coffin? Do you want to be in a coffin and buried in the ground? And no matter what you decide is going to cost you money. Unless you drowned at sea and we never find your body, you're going to have some expenses if you pass away. The average cost is about $8,500 to $10,000 for a traditional funeral and burial. And so that's a good starting point to determine how much life insurance you would need. I would have a nice form that would kind of go through all the questions to ask you. Again, it's not an interrogation. It would be a conversation. What would you like to pay off? Home, auto, Do you have educational goals for your children that you might need money? Do you have an organization that you really feel fond of? You want to set a certain amount to, and you would have to update your will once you got this life insurance policy, or you would update the beneficiaries of who would receive that money once you did write a life insurance policy. So we have a form that helps guide our questions to have the conversation be very professional, very thorough, and again, very private and protected. We keep it, your information locked away, and so nobody ever knows about the conversation. So you always think about what the future needs are, what bills to pay off, etc. And as I said, if you're looking down the road 5 years from now, and you had a $100,000 policy or $500,000 or $1 million policy, and that were to be given to your spouse or divided among several beneficiaries at your passing, boy, I tell you what, you say, well, it's not going to help me. Well, it's going to give you peace of mind now. I know when I did not have life insurance, I was afraid. I was thinking, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. Because I knew I had obligations. And at the time, I didn't have life insurance. Now I'm set. And I tell you what, the stress it takes off you, the peace of mind it gives you, it's unbelievable what a life insurance policy can do for you. So, these are the things that you need to consider. These are the things you need to ponder. These are the things you need to understand. Finding that final number, determining what type of life insurance policy. And let me kind of go back to a few of the different types. The term life insurance policy is for a specific amount of time. Who can that work for? Well, many times people would traditionally say it's for people who are building, maybe it's a young couple and you just have your first baby and, you're in your early 30s and you're building years, and you cannot believe how inexpensive life insurance, a 30-year term life insurance for $500,000 or even $1 million for a 30-year-old male non-smoker. It's just like literally a couple of dollars a day, $1 a day, $30, $40, $50 a month. And I can give you exact quotes on different amounts if you give me a call. But it's amazing. And so that term life would be perfect for you because you're in your mid-30s, brings you to 65, maybe your building years, and you would have retirement benefit. There is also on those term policies something called return of premium. Now, you would pay about twice as much. So instead of paying, say, $50 a month, you might pay $100 a month. But at the end of 30 years, if you do not die, guess what? It's like Christmas time. It's like winning the lottery. You're going to get all of your premium back. It's a return of premium life insurance policy, term life policy. So if you don't die, people say, well, if I don't die, man, I just wasted $100 a month. Well, or $50 a month, $600 a year times 30 years. You can do the math. That adds up. But what if I don't die? Well, that's just like saying, why do I need car insurance? If I don't get in a wreck, I just wasted all that money. Well, but it's by law you need it, number one. But number two, it gives you peace of mind that if you do get in a wreck. So the term life policies for a certain amount of time, and if you kind of double the premium, that's an average. Say instead of paying $50 a month, say you pay $70 or $80 to $90, maybe up to $100 a month, you can receive all of that premium back after 30 years because you're most likely not going to die. So we're coming to the close of the show, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. I hope it piqued your interest. Life insurance is not for you. It's for the people you leave behind. Life insurance is something that you need to have a conversation about. And let me ask you, does your significant other know you don't have life insurance? Do they think you have life insurance? Did you have life insurance, but it lapsed? You couldn't pay, but you didn't tell them. And I'm not trying to stir up anything in anybody's family, marriage, relationship, or anything like that. But, these are when you can be transparent and open and honest to yourself, number one, and number two, to those that you love, that brings freedom, peace of mind, etc. All right. So we're going to close. You've been listening to the Quality of Life radio show. I'm Tom Bouvier. I'm one of the field managers and the licensed insurance brokers here at Owen Insurance Group. We're based out of Stuart, Florida, but you may be listening all across the country, even across the world. If you have questions, we are licensed and so we can do insurance products and services in over, I think, about 40 states, almost the entire United States. So give us a call. We're here to help. We have agents across the state of Florida, agents across the country. We're here to help. And we certainly thank you for joining us. We want you to tell your family and friends about our show. It's every Tuesday morning, either on the radio, WSTU 1450 AM or WPSL 1590 AM. But you can always go to Facebook and Google and look up Quality of Life Radio Show and listen in online as well. So again, we thank you for listening today. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Please share us with your friends, family, neighbors. Coming up next is the Brian Kilmeade Show. So from Owen Insurance Group to you and your family, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.